My name is Lauren Marino. This morning we will start with an introduction by Swami Ishatmananda.
Friends, tomorrow, 4th of July, the whole country, America, they will celebrate their freedom. So today, when we are assembling, so we thought we will also join and we will celebrate that one day before. So that way we are planning, and then we got our some devotees and friends also. They joined, they will one after another, they will come. Without freedom, no one can survive. So that is the main thing, that without freedom, it is impossible to survive. If you give lot of food, if you give all other comforts, if you don't give the freedom to express yourself, then people will feel, I don't like to live over here. Always, every time. There's an urge for the freedom. And that is the reason we have found that right from the beginning, this is going on. I like to be free. I like to be free. And the conception of freedom changed. Sometimes the target was to become socially free. Sometimes it is economical freedom. Sometimes only the freedom of the speech. Sometimes political freedom. And we find over here in Upanishadic time, almost 10,000 years before, they are talking about the freedom, which is the freedom of the soul. What is the bondage? Because of this, we will discuss about that. But I was noticing very interesting, then I found that the German word, the Christian German word, that means more than 2000 years before, the German word Friede, that meant the peace. From that, Fried came the word freedom. So freedom obviously associated with peace, happiness, joy. You have the freedom, but you don't have the joy. Then what is that freedom? So that is the main thing also. The freedom should also bring the joy and happiness and peace. And here comes the moment we uttered the word freedom. I am free to do whatever I like, at the same time the great responsibility. Because you have to consider others' freedom too. I am free to do anything. Sometimes some people, they forget, and they will be, particularly in our country, it is so rampant that they will be going on playing the music in so high volume, everybody is disturbed. No, I am enjoying. What is that to you? But you are disturbing my peace, my happiness, my freedom. So that is the main thing. We have to keep freedom, means it comes with peace. And peace I alone cannot enjoy. I have to get the peace from all others also. The great responsibility. The freedom means the great responsibility. The responsibility is constantly aware. I am not disturbing others, creating problem for others. So that is the freedom. And this, along with this freedom, so many list of freedoms we can, even the children, they will demand, we need freedom. Now what is that freedom? I like to go and play, I like to go and do this, but the parents said, no, not now, I will give you. Then the parents, children can think, we are not free, but they are free, but guided. And that guide is coming for the betterment of those children only. So that is very important. They are also free, but they are guided by the people who are experienced. So in our country they said up to 6th year, from 1 to 6, they are free. Do not disturb them, let them grow. From 6 to 16, they should go to Guru Griha. All children, boys and girls, they should go to Guru Griha, because that is the time, formative time, they should be under someone with under restrictions. And they should learn how to. Now in our schools also, we used to see that children, they are putting their clothes and shoes here and there. Suppose there's rain, they will go and pick their own thing and come back. Now I told, what about that? Oh, that is not mine. I told, but that is your friend. Why don't you help him? Go first, you pick up that. Then if you have time, you pick up yours. So this sacrifice, service, they are learning from the gurus, from the experienced people. Why? It's a human society. In the human society, the freedom doesn't mean only whatever I think I can do. Now the smoking, all the time there are not only health hazards, the people are also disturbed when you are smoking. But I am smoking. What's that to you? No, you are creating problem for others. So this is the freedom. Then one person in one locality, a neighborhood, used to drink a lot in the night and used to come and always somehow used to forget his own door. Used to go and knock somebody else's door, and he'll be shouting, "Hey, why you have closed my door? This is my house, open it right now." They will open and say, "How come every day you are disturbing us? This is my freedom. This is my money, I am drinking, and this is my freedom." Then that fellow told, "I too have the freedom to slap you. Can I?" So like this, so we have to understand the freedom doesn't mean anything that we like to do. No, with the restrictions, with the understandings, and also with the responsibilities. The friends, so we will hear about this freedom and the struggle particularly that happened over here. And most of you, those who are from India, you know how much struggle we had over there and what freedom means to us. You cannot imagine. The Gandhiji, he was a highly educated person, and he was kicked out of the train because he was not white skinned. So naturally the Gandhiji, he came out and thought, this is too much. We have to do something to get our own freedom. So this is the freedom, that movement everywhere. Almost at the same time it came, one after another, but our concentration today will be on America, the 4th of July thing.
Now we will have a patriotic song by Bobby and Melanie.
Sorry. Okay. Good morning. I have chosen America the Beautiful, and if you know it, please sing along. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful for pilgrim feet whose stern impassioned stress a thoroughfare for freedom beat across the wilderness. America, America, God mend thine every flaw. Confirm thy soul in self-control, thy liberty in law. Oh, beautiful for heroes proved in liberating strife, who more than self their country love, and mercy more than life. Excuse me. America, America, may God thy gold refine, till all success be nobleness, and every gain divine. One more. Oh, beautiful for patriot dreams that sees beyond the years, thine alabaster cities gleam, undimmed by human tears. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Thank you. I'm sorry for that.
Thank you. Thank you. Now we will have a brief history of American freedom struggle by Swami Ishatmananda.
Okay, good morning. So, the 4th of July is a celebration of the signing of the Declaration of Independence on July 4th, 1776. On that date, America became a nation. And also, on that date, a new form of government came into the world, democracy. Government of, for, and by the people. Now, in the Declaration of Independence, it stated that we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that the Creator has endowed each of us with certain unalienable rights. The rights among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That all men are created equal. This was a brand new idea in the world. You had the king, and you had the nobles, and you had the common people. In no way were the common people considered equal to the aristocracy. They had no say in the government, they had very few rights, and almost no protection from the whims of the nobility. So, in America, every person has a say in the government. The vote of a garage mechanic, it counts just as much as the vote of a corporate president. The whole American legal system is based upon the Bill of Rights. And the main purpose of the Bill of Rights was to ensure the freedom and the rights of each individual to seek happiness as well as they could without threat of tyranny or persecution. So this was a whole new thing that was brought into the world, that for once each individual, each ordinary person had a say in the government, had equal rights guaranteed by the government. And so it gave freedom, liberty to the every man, every individual. Now, unfortunately, along with democracy came politicians. So, to paraphrase one French observer of the revolution, he said that the monarchy was grand and majestic, like a Spanish galleon, but it sank at the first storm. Whereas democracy was like a raft. You would never sink, but your feet were always wet. So this is kind of what we see. Now, there are certain symbols that we associate with America, one of which is the American flag. Now, in the American flag, we have 13 stripes representing the 13 original colonies that signed the Declaration of Independence, and you have 50 stars representing the 50 states. You know, when I was growing up, there's only 48 states, but then Alaska and Hawaii were added. Now, the traditional story is that Betsy Ross made the first flag. The story is that George Washington came to her with a pencil drawing and asked her to make a flag, and so she made the very first flag. Now, this story is based upon a paper delivered by her grandson in 1870, and it's never been verified by the historians, so it's considered somewhat doubtful. It is known that she made flags along with many other seamstresses, but whether she made the first flag is uncertain. However, it is certain that the first time the flag was used in battle was at Fort Schuyler on August 3rd, 1777. They suddenly received word that they were supposed to have a flag. So the men, they cut up their white shirts, and then they cut up their wives' petticoats to get the red stripes, and the captain cut up his own blue coat in order to get the blue. And so, like that, they quickly put a flag together. And so that was the first use. Another symbol connected with America is the national anthem. Now, after the Revolutionary War, America fought another brief war with the British known as the War of 1812. And Francis Scott Key, he was a lawyer and also an amateur poet. So he had gone onto a British ship in order to secure the release of an American doctor who had been taken prisoner by the British. And then, though, he was confined to the ship because while they attacked Fort McHenry in Baltimore. And so all night long, he watched the bombardment of Fort McHenry. And then in the morning, when the sun came up and he saw that the American flag was still flying, he was inspired to write a poem called Defense of Fort McKinley. And it started off, "Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming." Now, this poem then was eventually put to the music of a popular drinking song of the day called "To Anacharan in Heaven." And this was written by John Stafford Smith for the Anacharantic Society. this was a men's social club in London that was named after a Greek poet named Anchiran. Now, they promoted music, but primarily they were dedicated to conviviality and drinking. So this was a club. So this is where the music came from. It was from this popular song in that day. And but the Star Spangled Banner, it didn't actually become the national anthem until 1931. Before that, if people wanted a patriotic song, they would sing songs like America the Beautiful, or My Country 'Tis of Thee, or other, all of which are a lot easier to sing than the Star Spangled Banner. But so like that, it came into our tradition. Another symbol of America is the bald eagle. But once I saw a bald eagle when I was on a canoe trip, and it was very big, very kind of impressive bird. Now, Benjamin Franklin, he wanted the national emblem to be the turkey, but fortunately that idea didn't go through. So anyway, so these are some of the symbols connected with America. Now the date itself, July 4th, also has a special significance. George Washington was the first president, and then after him came John Adams and Thomas Jefferson, who were both on the committee which wrote the Declaration of Independence, and then James Madison. Now all three of these, they died on July 4th. John Adams and Thomas Jefferson, they died on the same day, January 4th, 1826, which was the 50th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. And James Madison died on July 4th, 1831. And as we all know, it was July 4th that Swami Vivekananda chose to leave his body in 1902. But also, Swami Prabhavananda, who was our great Swami out in Hollywood, he left the body on July 4th, 1976, which was the 200th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. So there's some special meaning to this date. And when you look back at America, at the founding of America, you see that it was founded on very high, very noble, very spiritual ideals. It sought to give, for the first time, it sought to give respect, dignity, and freedom to each and every individual, not just the noble class, not just the aristocracy, but to every individual. And they say this brought something completely new and completely good into the world. It's like a tacit sort of understanding of Swami's, Vivekananda's belief in the divinity of man. It's like namaste. I bow down to the divinity within you. So that respect for the individual. You know, I've read that where the handshake started was that when two strangers met, they would test the strength of their sword arms to see who was the toughest. Yeah, that's a far cry from namaste. But anyway, this it brought something new and wonderful into the world. It's what historians refer to as a paradigm shift. In other words, the world is going on in one direction up to a point, and then suddenly it changes direction. A new idea comes into society, and suddenly things go in a different direction. So the Declaration of Independence and the establishment of democracy was like that. The world wasn't the same afterwards. And as you see throughout history, this is kind of the real forces in nature are ideas that come into the world. Another paradigm shift was the Parliament of Religions. After that, the world began to change its whole approach and attitude. So On this day, it's a very important celebration, it's a very significant celebration. As I said, it's really represents bringing us higher spiritual ideas into the human consciousness. And when you compare what's happening in democratic nations with what's happening in dictatorships, what happens to the citizens in those nations, you realize how wonderful it is that people can live with freedom, without threat, without tyranny, without persecution. So this is what we celebrate today. We celebrate the founding of America, the establishment of democracy, as well as the Swami Vivekananda. So, thank you.
Now we will have a recitation by Vinicius Marinho, the famous poem written by Swami Vivekananda to the 4th of July.
To the 4th of July. Behold, the dark clouds melt away, that gathered thick at night, and hung so like a gloomy pall above the earth. To the 4th of July. Behold, the dark clouds melt away, that gathered thick at night, and hung so like a gloomy pall above the earth. Behold, before thy magic touch, the world awakes, the birds in chorus sing, the flowers raise their star-like crowns, do set and wave thee welcome fair. The lakes are opening wide in love, their 100,000 lotus eyes, to welcome thee with all their depth. All hail to thee, thou Lord of light. A welcome to thee today, O Sun, today, thou sheddest liberty. Bethink thee how the world did wait and search for thee through time and clime. Some gave up home and love of friends, and went in quest of thee, self-banished, through dreary oceans, through primeval forests, each step a struggle for their life or death. They came the day when work bore fruit, and worship, love, and sacrifice fulfilled, accepted, and complete. Then thou, propitious rose to shed the light of freedom on mankind. Move on, O Lord, in thy resistless path, till thy high moon o'er earth spread the world, till every land reflects thy light, till man and woman with uplifted head behold their shackles broken, and know, in springing joy, their life renewed.
Now we will have a patriotic song by Stephen Larson and Kelly McHood.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright scars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you. Now we will have a speech by Swami Ishatmananda on freedom, the song of the soul.
This is wonderful. And sometimes some people will think, this is American freedom, why we are celebrating. And that too, why in a shrine, that one person was asking, in a shrine in the God's place, why this? This is political, is it? No. Freedom cannot be political. Freedom has no the geographical boundary. Freedom is a different idea that one can feel if they study Vedanta. The Vedanta always teaches about the freedom. Kim rodashi sakhe tai sarva shakti, they say in the Vedanta. Why you are crying? You are the repository, store of all power. Kim rodasi sakhi. Then again it says nirgacchati jagat jalat pinjaradiva keshari. Keshari means the lion. When the lion was tied somewhere and it was giving its full force, and when it breaks those shackles and jump, you must see the power. So that is the power you have to give, and you have to be free. So that is the freedom, freedom, freedom. And Swami Vivekananda said twice, standing over here in America. And this is very special, you know. In 1892, a great poet of India, Rabindranath Tagore, he was composing a poem giving an allegory of two birds, one in the cage, another from the free. And these two birds, they are coming and meeting. I wish I could recite in Bengali. This is beautiful. The translation, of course, it is there, but not so. But anyway, these two birds, when the first one coming and seeing, and this bird is saying, why? You are outside, come over here. Oh, no, I want freedom. Why don't you learn the song that we sing in the forest? It's a song of all free. Then this one was telling, alas, I cannot, because I have been taught something to learn, and that only I know. I don't know how you people sing in the forest. And he was telling, why you were there, come out, let us go and fly. I have forgotten how to fly. Is there any place on the cloud that I can sit? I cannot fly, I have forgotten. So that is the two wonderful picture. One is in bondage but with great comfort. Another is free with difficulties, challenges, problems, but free. So that is again and again through the birds, in other poems also it is there. So freedom, that is the first thing. And we were listening to, particularly when Swami Varadananda ji was mentioning, it was so unique, how it all came. And one thing I always wonder, because I am not very old over here, I am only 3 years completed. So in our country, you cannot use the national flag anywhere. Here anyone can use. Not only that, in their trousers and in their bags and everywhere their national flag. And in our country, national flag means something. So why this difference? Do they love their country less than ours? I don't think. More. But they feel, this is mine, I have every right to use. Why the government has to give some rules and regulations? That is the main thing. Why should I have to follow the rules? I am free to use. I may use it on my t-shirt, I may use it on my anywhere I like, but I love it. This is my country, this is my flag. As a free country, I can do anything. So that is the conception, and really the struggle that they went through, it's nothing. It's mainly economical operations, we can say. But the struggle the Indian people have gone through is unthinkable. But they still survive. Constantly, in the different corner of the country. It was only 13 colonies. And in India, you can imagine the vast country. And it's almost a continent. And there are different type of religions, language, culture. All that was there. And those lastly came to rule. The Britishers were very clever. Suppose you are a Britisher, you will appreciate how they ruled the millions of people. How? Divide and rule. The first thing they made that division. Here it was not like that. Though they were isolated and slowly came to the common. So this is the political thing that they always try to do. In China, a portion of China, the British ruled with the help of the opiums. So the Opium War. Here also they were ruling, and with that they were going on pressurizing economy. So the Boston Tea Party, I like these names. No, not very serious, but it's a very serious thing. Boston Tea Party. So anyone will think, oh, this is a good thing. It was not good. It was terrible. So from there it started. So this way, but the ultimate thing is the human soul, they always try to get the freedom. Where I will get mukti, ultimate mukti, and for that only Lord Buddha came out. He was in a very happy position. He was supposed to be the king. But when he came out, he saw different type of pictures. He saw a man who is trembling on a stick, and a man dead, and a man who is suffering. All these pictures inside. Is there anything from which I can get freedom from this? Then he saw a sannyasi, carefree. He is there in that situation, but never bothering. Why? Because he knew that he is totally free. How that comes? Because I am eternal, I am Atman, I am not this body. The problem comes when this body, I am thinking, this is me and I am going to lose it, I am suffering. But no, I am not. So that freedom Lord Buddha understood, and to try to get that, what he did, he never enrolled in any university, he only controlled his own mind. So this is here also in the Bhagavad Gita, when the Arjuna was asking, what are the scenes, why I am suffering, why I cannot control my mind? And the Krishna said only two words, Kama Esha krodha esha rajoguna samudbhava mahashana mahapapma viddinna ihabairinam. Now, as the Varadanandaji was mentioning, with the freedom came the politicians too. So these people, they are surviving, thriving on politics. So naturally all these things. So I was in a part of India, constantly the struggles were going on. I was thinking, the 50,000 strong Indian army, can't they stop it? They told they can in a day, but the politicians don't want, because there's a great business. They are not suffering. Nothing has happened to them. When they are traveling, all at the front there are 6, back at the 6 army vans are going and covering them. They are happy. Only ordinary people are suffering. So they don't bother about that. And also the police and army, they were also wanting that should continue. Why, you know? The law is, if you are working in a difficult situation, you get extra bonus. So let it be. So different type of things are there. That's called politics. It's very difficult to understand. So this is the way, but what is the freedom? Swami Vivekananda said 2 things. Freedom, freedom, freedom. Freedom is the first condition of growth. If you have to develop, if you have to grow, you need the freedom. And that is here in the America, a total freedom. But at the same time, guided freedom. Under the guidance, if the freedom is there, then it is good. When you was playing, okay, inside that you are free. But parents and guardians must see, until you are capable to judge properly with whom you are mixing, where you are going, what type of things that you are doing, there you cannot get the freedom. Why? Because if you become bad, it is bad for the society also. So similarly, these are the things we have to think about: the freedom, political freedom, social freedom, economical freedom, all these things. And at the same time, there should be freedom to choose. In our country, the society is terribly closed, and that is why you will wonder, there are so many other things are there. The instances, a girl married another boy who doesn't belong to the same caste, that's all. And they were killed by their own people. Why? This is why the society is not having the freedom. And you cannot put on the clothings also properly in your, suppose you like it, but you cannot, because you have to put on this. Some of the countries, I am not naming them, if you go, you cannot. No freedom. You have money, you can do it, but no, you are not allowed. And some of the countries are there, you cannot read all sorts of books. You have to read only those books that has been specified by the authority, the rulers. No freedom. So long back, I was in publication department of the Ramakrishna Mission. We used to take books to different places to reach out to people. It was an international book fair. I was attending that in Delhi. One lady came, and every day she used to purchase some of the books of Swami Vivekananda and the complete works of Swami Vivekananda, and she'll be putting in the 2-3 bags, and she will take it. Then after 2-3 days, I told, why don't you purchase together? Every day you were coming and purchasing the same thing. She told, you won't understand. I am taking it secretly, and I am sending it through my friends. They are also carrying it secretly. We are not allowed to read these books. You people are lucky. So that's why you can do whatever you like. So the freedom. Why from all over the country people like to come over here? Freedom. Swami Vivekananda said that. When I came to America, I saw that from the Europe people are coming haggard, and their heads are hanging on their chest, and they don't have any self-confidence. When they came to America, the American weather, constantly whispering, John, you can do it. John, you can do it. John, you can do it. Then after 6 months, the same man with great confidence going and shaking hands with the President of America. And that is called freedom, self-confidence. The self-confidence is the basis of the freedom. If I don't have the self-confidence, I can never become free. So that is the thing. If you read, we always send out one page, particularly one section dedicated, Arise, Awake and Stop Not, in our magazine, e-magazine, electronic magazine. You can download, you can read. There we search out this type of people, they like to be free. This is a special type of freedom. Now, someone lost both the legs, but she thought, I must dance, and she performed a wonderful dancing. How? The strong confidence, I am going to do it. So like this one lady, very ordinary lady, she used to sell by sitting by the side of the road vegetables. You can imagine how much income. But she was thinking, I must construct, I must make a hospital so that people in this remote area can get the medical help. And she has built that. That is the stories, that is called freedom. And Swamiji said, you must have that confidence, I am going to do it. And I must do it. Freedom, freedom, freedom. Freedom is the first condition of growth. So to grow, we need this freedom. We grew in religion. The Western countries, they grew in society because the society was having the freedom. They could do whatever they like. They could choose whatever the professions they like. But in our society, it was totally closed till now. You cannot do whatever you like. So we could not grow. That is the tangible proof that we cannot grow unless we are having the freedom. But then came the spiritual freedom, religious freedom. Here only one coat. Whether you like it or not, whether you fit it or not, you must have to put it on. But there, in that country, the religious freedom was complete. Whatever God, whoever you like, you can. Even sometimes we have noticed that the husband do not believe in God, but he is taking the wife who is a devotee of that Lord. He will take her to the temple, and then standing outside the temple, wait for the wife. Wife is going inside, doing the puja, and this man, by this time, 3 or 4 cigarettes. So this way it goes, but they are both Hindus. No problem. Nobody is going and disturbing them. I have seen a great communist leader. I am not naming them. Communist leader, his wife used to come to our ashrama, and she used to do all the puja, and the gentleman used to wait outside. No, I am communist, I don't believe in God, so I will be waiting outside. But I like you people, they are good people. So he used to come to our ashrama, used to do like that. Freedom is there, there's no problem. That freedom should be always there, but at the same time, the freedom of the soul, that again Swamiji said, freedom, freedom, freedom. Freedom is the song of the soul. The soul, it is not the body, it is not the mind, it is the core of every being, that is the soul. And that is totally free, completely free, every moment free. Unnecessarily we are thinking that we are bound. How it is possible? The sum of the small things that we have to keep in our mind, that is called desires. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Krishna said, Kama Isha, Krodha Isha. He only mentioned 2 words. But the first is the Kama. Kama means the desire. When there is a desire, obviously at the back of it, like a shadow follows the Krodha, anger. When the desire is there, but desire is not satisfied, then comes the anger. When the anger comes, we forget everything. And then we perform something, we commit something, for that we suffer all through our life. I went to a jail. In India also they were trying to reformatories. So into a jail in Bombay. And there they invited me to speak before some of those people. But the lady superintendent of that jail, she told Swamiji, this front line that they are sitting with the white clothes, they are going to be hanged. All the order has come. Now they are only waiting for a few days. Some of them they are applied to the President of India for the pardon, etc. Next to all these people, they are going to be either killed by us or they will kill in between, fighting in themselves. But the destination only for them is to die. Now you say whatever you like to say. I don't say what. Now I came thinking that I will say something, and now everybody is ready for death. What I will say then? But anyway, I told them, see, physically you are so strong than me. And most of them are very good looking. I told you are also so very handsome than me. And you are intelligent, very intelligent than me. And of course courageous than me. And for everything you are better than me. Then why you are sitting on that floor? And you know, in the jail I have seen the Polish people, how they are treating them. And when they are calling them, they are not touching their by hand, only by kicking them. And constantly in Hindi they call, and very derogatory. Of course we love that animal, kutte. You know, that is a very derogatory word they use. Hey, kutte. And they are behaving all the time. They have the names, they have the numbers. But they were behaving like that before me. You can imagine. That was the meeting was going on. So I told why they are behaving with you like this way. And look at me, I don't have anything. But still they are giving me so much of respect. My seat is always covered with some special clothings. And all the time they are asking me to sit first and then they follow. Why? So they were looking at me and they said, in one point of your life you made a wrong decision. One wrong decision you took, you forgot that it is not the physical strength, it is the mental strength. And there only you have gone down and suffering, and your destination, as the lady was telling, superintendent, only death. We'll also die, but honorable, that is on most honor, that we'll die, and after completing all our duties maybe. So like this I was telling, and then I told, of course in the Hindu way, see, all the time we believe that whatever we have done in the past, we are now suffering for the karma phala. Naturally it proves, it is the argument of Swami Vivekananda, you are the maker of your own destiny. That this life is under my control. I will perform in such a way so that I can go beyond. I will make my, again, the future life, and that is the root of the freedom. But only very special, one young boy, he was sitting behind a person, as the young people they always do, 19, 20 years maybe, very good looking. He was not looking me directly, he was seeing from the back of the gentleman. But when everything was done, when the lecture was over, they wanted to take me out, because it is very difficult to believe them. Almost all the guards were having the revolvers open, because they were not ordinary thieves, they were underground people. Chota Rajan, etc., etc., all these names, their companies, Indian people, they know them, terrible people, and in Bombay. So they were not believing, but they was requesting, we like to go and touch the feet of the Swamiji. So they made the meeting and they told, we do not know. So two, the police officer, they sat by my side and with the revolver ready, and they allowed them to come and touch, because they were afraid they may do something, instead of touching my feet, they may touch my throat, then it will be difficult. So that way, but they came with great respect, they were touching the feet, and they were telling Swamiji, agla jeevan mein theek ho jayega na? In the next life we'll be all right, right? So that was their questions. Then I told, see, I cannot help you in any way, but I can pray for you. And from today, 30 days, I will pray for you. And I did that. So that always, it is in my mind, the human being, having everything, only one mistake, thinking that I am this body. No, I am the Atman, I am eternal, I am free, I am always happy. And in the yoga, in the Patanjali Yoga Darshan, it says, 5 things are there constantly dragging us down. That is avidya, the first one. Avidya means nescience, avidya means ignorance or wrong conception. Then asmita is the ego. I know, I have understood, I can do. So these things, you must be humble. And third comes raga, desire, dvesha, anger, and then abhinivesha. These are the 5 things constantly dragging us down, binding us. So we must be free from that. And very first is the avidya, this wrong knowledge. What is this wrong? Now we always think that I belong to this body. But really, before, maybe that I am 50 years old, before 50 years, where I was, how I was. And then maybe that another 20 years I will survive. After that, where I am going to go? Then who is this body? How can I be associated with this body? But all the time we are so much concerned about this. That is a wrong thing, and that is called avidya. To get the freedom and to listen to the song of the soul, we must have to understand this, and that is the teaching of Vedanta. This Vedanta teaches this, and Swami Vivekananda, in his words, very simple but very, very effective, he said, each soul is potentially divine. It's not manifested, but potentially. Each soul. He is not giving any differentiations. Each soul is potentially divine. The goal is to manifest the divinity within. What should be the goal of a human life? To manifest the divinity within. What is the divinity? Again and again, we talk about love, pure love. Love without any expectation. Love without any boundary. That is the purity. That is the purity. And this, when that comes within our heart, then we become gods. Each soul is potentially divine. The goal is to manifest the divinity within, that we should make that as the goal. Whenever we are asking the children, what is the goal of your life? What do you like to be? I like to be a doctor or engineer, a professional, that much. Then I was asking, a group of young students came from the university. I told, don't you think they'll become they were both boys and girls, to become a monk or a nun? Oh my God, monk and a nun? No, never. But you have come all the way this place. Why? Now, Swami Vivekananda. Who was he? A monk. Then you have come to pay the respect to a monk. But you don't like to be like that? Oh, maybe let us enjoy the life, then we will think. So this way it always goes. Nothing wrong, nothing bad. Enjoy the life. But no, don't forget that this is not the end. So why we are enjoying? To get happiness. But suppose we don't get that, then what is the purpose? So happiness only can be found within the heart. That one should understand. I thank you very much for coming today, and also I thank all of, see, she is really, yesterday only I told her, Bobby, can you sing? She told, yes, America the Beautiful. Okay. So immediately she sang, and how wonderfully he sang. And other two, this Kaylee and Stephen, they came from Ohio. I told, can you please sing this? They immediately practiced, and then they came and sang without any hesitations. And that is the service always. We all know, But at the same time, when someone is coming, performing, we are all joining together, and that is wonderful. I could hear all their singing, joining their voice with our Bobby. Yes, Bobby. They were all singing with the Bobby. So, constantly we should be united, and united with for the goal. What is that goal? Freedom. And freedom means happiness. Thank you very much. I pray to God, let all you be always happy, healthy, happy and fulfilled. Thank you very much.